other assemblies. But upon all great parliamentary questions, such as what motions can be made, what is their order of precedence, which can be debated, what is their effect, etc., the common law of the land is settled by the practice of the U.S. House of Representatives, and not by that of the English Parliament, the U.S. Senate, or any other body. While in extreme cases there is no difficulty in deciding the question as to whether the practice of Congress determines the common parliamentary law, yet between these extremes there must necessarily be a large number of doubtful cases upon which there would be great difference of opinion, and to avoid the serious difficulties always arising from a lack of definiteness in the law, every deliberative assembly should imitate our legislative bodies in adopting rules of order for the conduct of their business. Where the practice of Congress differs from that of Parliament upon a material point, the common law of this country follows the practice of Congress. Thus, in every American deliberative assembly having no rules for conducting business, the motion to adjourn would be decided to be undebatable, as in Congress, the English parliamentary law to the contrary notwithstanding. So if the previous question were negatived, the debate upon the subject would continue as in Congress, whereas in Parliament the subject would be immediately dismissed. So too the previous question could be moved when there was before the Assembly a motion either to amend, to commit, or to postpone definitely or indefinitely, just as in Congress, notwithstanding that, according to English parliamentary law, the previous question could not be moved under such circumstances. When the rules of the two houses of Congress conflict, the House of Representative rules are of greater authority than those of the Senate in determining the parliamentary law of the country, just as the practice of the House of Commons, and not the House of Lords, determines the parliamentary law of England. For instance, though the Senate rules do not allow the motion for the previous question, and make the motion to postpone indefinitely take precedence of every other subsidiary motion, except to lie on the table, yet the parliamentary law of the land follows the practice of the House of Representatives in recognizing the previous question as a legitimate motion, and assigning to the very lowest rank the motion to postpone indefinitely. But in matters of detail, the rules of the House of Representatives are adapted to the peculiar wants of that body, and are of no authority in any other assembly. No one, for instance, would accept the following House of Representative rules as common parliamentary law in this country: that the chairman, in case of disorderly conduct, would have the power to order the galleries to be cleared; that the ballot could not be used in electing the officers of an assembly; that any 15 members would be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members and make them pay the expenses of the messengers sent after them; that all committees not appointed by the chair would have to be appointed by ballot, and if the required number were not elected by a majority vote, then a second ballot must be taken in which a plurality of votes would prevail; that each member would be limited in debate upon any question to 1 hour; that a day's notice must be given of the introduction of a bill, and that before its passage it must be read 3 times, and that without the special order of the Assembly it cannot be read twice the same day. These examples are sufficient to show the absurdity of the idea that the rules of Congress in all things determine the common parliamentary law. Plan of the work. This manual is prepared to partially meet this want in deliberative assemblies that are not legislative in their character. It has been made sufficiently complete to answer for the rules of an assembly until they see fit to adopt special rules conflicting with and superseding any of its rules of detail, such as the order of business, etc. Even in matters of detail, the practice of Congress is followed, wherever it is not manifestly unsuited to ordinary assemblies, and in such cases in Part 1 there will be found the congressional practice. In the important matters referred to above, in which the practice of the House of Representatives